Look at that shade. It's just gorge. Hey guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we are talking about Haus Labs. And ever since I've tried their foundation, I got a bunch of other products, not all of them, but a bunch of other products that I wanted to try, and I've been testing them out and I have some thoughts and I'm really freaking excited. Haus Labs truly was one of those brands that I wasn't like sure about. And then the second the foundation launched, I feel like everyone, at least like in this like community channel portion of the web, got more intrigued by their products, and I had a lot of questions about, you know, the new blushes and stuff like that. So I grabbed a bunch of things and I've been trying and testing them out, and I have a lot of thoughts and I'm excited to share them with you guys. I just want to jump into this video and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this Haus Labs makeup product video. All right, you guys, we are in closer. Let's get into the video. So the first, since this is a Haus Labs video, we are going to be using the foundation today. I've done a whole review of this, so I'm not going to like gab on about this, but I do really enjoy this. For me, I feel like this product needs to be, for like how I like to use it, is I like to blend it with my fingers. I didn't love the look when I blended it with a brush, and I didn't love the look when I blended it with a beauty sponge. For me, it needed to be blended with my fingers. So I wore the shade 330, I believe. Is that right? Oh my gosh, it's so hard to read the bottom of this. Yeah, 330, a medium cool. And I'm just gonna do one pump on the back of my hand. And I am gonna just work this kind of into the back of my hand, kind of like this, before I apply it to my face. Okay, so we've worked that in, kind of blended it, and I'm going to apply to my cheeks and blend with my fingers. And I really like this shade. I feel like it's a good match, and it gives me a little bit more color to my face. It's a little dark comparably to like my neck and everything now, but it's going to be really good when I get a little bit of a tan. All right, we're blended. We're moving on to bronzer now. So I have this bronzer here. So I got the shade medium level 7. I was really impressed with the bronzer shade range and how, like, normally I get like one bronzer shade option or two. This had a lot of options, so I was like struggling, which like never happened. Love that. So I picked medium level 7. I wanted something that was going to be dark enough for when I actually got like a good tan, and that was going to have the undertone I like for when I'm tan. And it wasn't going to be too like neutral, because sometimes I can look ashy, and it wasn't too warm because then I can look carrot, and nobody wants that. So this is the shade I got, and I'm going to just use this brush here. This is a Sephora Pro 59 brush. Now, if you struggle with like having a small face, because I have a really small face, I really struggle with like bronzer, like applying bronzer with brushes, because bronzer brushes usually are like way too big, and then when I blend on my cheeks, the bronzer ends up like down here, and I kind of want it more focused like up here. So this is a really good bronzer brush for the folks out there with small faces. So I'm just gonna dip in, and I'm also gonna like tap off on the back of my hand, because I don't like to over apply it first, and I'm just gonna kind of tap this into the face. I really like this shade, and I would love to know your thoughts if you enjoy it. I'll also do like a swatchy poo once I'm done blending this out. All right, bronzer is applied. What do you guys think? Do you like the shade? I really like this. Let me do a little swatchy poo for you. Again, I got the shade medium level 7, and this is the shade here, just so you can see. And I'm going to do a little swatch on the back of my hand for you guys, so you can see. I mean, it's so pretty. This is a shade that will work for me when I get more tan, because I don't love a really intense bronze. I feel like sometimes it can look a little fake. And I want something that just melts into the skin and looks very natural, and this is really pretty. At first, I thought it was going to be too like rosy in tone, because I do believe, I'm going to put on the screen what I was kind of picking between. I do believe that this was described kind of as rosy in tone, so I was a little bit nervous, but I love this shade. Like, look how pretty that is. It has warmth to it, but it's not too warm. It's, I don't know, it's a perfect bronzer shade. So then next, I think I'm gonna move on to concealer really quick. I have the Exa Beauty color corrector in the shade Peach, and then I have the Coolfy concealer in Mango Drop. So I'm gonna do a little bit of these, and then we're gonna move on to blush, powder, eyeshadow, and all of that jazz. So let's get into the under eyes really quick. All right, under eyes are concealed, loving it. So before we move on to blush, I actually think I'm gonna go on with the setting powder. So this is the Haus Lab setting powder. What is the full name? The Haus Lab's Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. And I just wanna do a little bit of setting under my eyes. I'll do the rest of my face as kind of like closer to the end, but I do wanna do a little bit under the eyes. This is the shade, it's a true like translucent-y shade. Some translucent shades tend to be more white. This is more of a cream color and I do enjoy that. So I have a little bit on a brush and I'm going to tap it off. I don't want to over apply under my eyes. I don't love that, but I do need a little bit of powder just under the eyes, but we're not going crazy with it. All right, concealer is set. I also did a little concealer on my lid and applied powder on top of that as well because I do want to do an eye look. Not anything crazy, but just a little bit of something. But let me know what you guys think of this translucent powder. Let me do a little swatchy poo for you on the back of my hand, just so you can see kind of what it looks like. So pretty. And then we're going to do a little blend out so you can see how it blends. It literally blends into nothing, which is ideal. You don't want your powdering too hard, you know what I mean? So then next we are going to move on to cheeks before we move on to the rest of the eyes. So cheeks, I was very excited about this because I love a powder blush, and when Haus Labs came out with a powder blush, I was like, thank you, because there's so few powder like blushes coming out because everyone loves a cream, a liquid, all of that. So I actually got two shades. I got the shade Hibiscus Haze, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Hibiscus Haze, which is such a pretty pink. And I didn't want a pink that was too bright because there's a very, very bright pink that would look amazing on a lot of people. But on me, I feel like I look it just is too much on my cheeks at times. So this is like the perfect kind of pinky shade that isn't too light pink. So it kind of just does what you want it to do. And I'm gonna do a little swatch on the back of my hand. And here's a little swatch for you that I did on the back of my hand. So you can see such pretty pink color, but it's not too overwhelming, but it isn't too, I don't know. I just love it. Such a like, this is a very good, also I feel like a year-round pink color, because some pinks you're like, okay, this is spring, this is summer, this is whatever. I feel like this is a good year-rounder. So the next I got this one, which I was so excited about. This is Pomelo Peach. Girl, at first I was unsure about if I wanted to get a peach blush because I don't normally gravitate towards peaches, but when I got Hibiscus Haze first. Once I tried Hibiscus Haze, I was like, okay, I need to try this peach color. So got my hands on it. Do a little swatchy poo for you guys as well. And this is the shade Pomelo Peach swatched. You can see very, very pretty. So I think I'm gonna go on my cheeks with Pomelo Peach just because I feel like this is one that more people would be intrigued by, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll do a combo. Maybe I'll do a little combo. So I'm gonna take just like a fluffy brush and I'm gonna kind of dip in, and don't overdo it. I'm gonna tap off on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna just slowly kind of build blush. So I'm gonna kind of focus here first, and then we can bring it forward, but mostly focusing towards the back because blush can get crazy real fast. Look at that shade, it's just gorge. Okay, so that's Pomelo Peach applied. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of Hibiscus Haze too, which seems kind of crazy, but I just feel like it's gonna look really pretty together. We'll figure it out together, but I feel like it's gonna look nice. So I'm gonna apply again a little bit, just on top, just a touch. Okay, loving that, so pretty. I really do enjoy these blushes. I mean, I love a powder blush, I just do. They just last so much longer than creams or liquids, and if you kind of layer them all together, it's like the best thing ever. I really, really enjoy these, and they're super finely milled like the bronzer is, and the powder is very finely milled too. So the next we're moving on to the eyes. So I'm gonna take the bronzer and I'm gonna do kind of an all over the lid vibe. But I'm not gonna over apply, I'm gonna lightly apply it. All right, so that's bronzer applied on my lid and a little bit on the lower lash line. Next, I'm gonna take this palette here from Rowan Beauty, and I'm just gonna take this shade here, and I'm gonna apply that on my lid as well. And then I'm gonna take this shade here, which is the lighter of the two, and I'm gonna kind of focus it towards the front more. And then I'm going to take a blending brush. I'm not going to add any more product to it, but I am going to just blend like so. Okay, so next we're moving on to a little bit of highlighter. I'm taking the Minori highlighter, which I love, and I'm applying it to the high points of my cheeks. If I didn't want to grab this, I could just grab the light color in this Rowan Beauty eyeshadow palette, this one right here, and apply it to my cheeks as well. But we're going to go with Minori today because I love her. She's so good. All right, love that. So pretty. Next, I'm going to take a little bit more setting powder, and I'm going to apply a little bit to the middle of my face. Okay, setting powder has been applied. We are going to set our face really, really quickly with setting spray, and then we're going to move on to the rest of the face and final thoughts. Okay, we are all spritzed. When you guys wait for your setting spray to dry, do you use like a little fan like this? I have a little fan. I bought it on Amazon, I believe. And I really like to use this, or do you just kind of like wait? I find that even like with eyelash glue or whatever, or when I want my under eyes to kind of dry down like a little bit, I use a fan. It's great. If you struggle with waiting and you are impatient like I am, get a fan. It's a really good idea. So then after it's all kind of dried down, or it's mostly dried down, I take a wet beauty sponge again, and I just kind of tap it all into the face. Okay, love that. Next, we're curling our lashes, and I'm going to just look down into a mirror that's close to my face and curl them like that. I find that to be the easiest way to do it. Okay, so then for mascara, I'm going on with the Jones Room Beauty mascara, and I love this mascara. It's just so good. So we're gonna, my current obsession. All my other favorites are still my favorites, but you ever go through like phases where you use something nonstop and then you go back to the thing that you were using before prior to like the nonstop, and then it's just a rotation? Because that's me with mascaras. All right, loving that. I'm gonna take a touch of the Minori highlighter and just do like right here. I just need a little touch of something. All right, mascara's done. Next, lips. So I'm gonna just go with my classic kind of everyday lip color. I tend to go with this shade, or I have a couple other ones that are kind of exchangeable with this, but it is this vibe. So this is the Victoria Beckham lip liner in the shade 04. Love this. I need to sharpen it, but that's okay. And we're going to just apply. And then I'm choosing between two lip oils that I can use. So I have the Fawn Beauty lip oil, and this is in the just original shade. And I also have like a brighter pink one that's called something witch. Not Wicked Witch, but it's something witch. And then I also have this one from Rowan Beauty, which is a very similar shade to this. I think I'm gonna go on with this one today from Fawn Beauty. I love these lip oils. If you're in the market for a lip oil, these are nice. And they're not too glossy. I find sometimes lip oils can be too glossy. These are great. All right, full makeup is on. Now let's get into like the kind of breakdown really quick towards the end of this video. So this is the Haus Labs foundation. I wear the shade 330 medium cool, right? It's so hard to read when stuff is like really small and it's not like black writing on top of white. It's kind of like white on white. I really enjoy this foundation. It's really good. If you want kind of a breakdown, I have a whole video, but I really enjoy this. So then next, let's move on to the Haus Labs bronzer. So again, I got the shade medium level 7. I am really happy with the shade. I feel like it's gonna work for me into summer. Again, I don't tan like crazy. I really apply so much sunscreen because I am not about that tan life. So this is like going to be a really good shade for when I do have some tan, but I don't get too crazy with the tanning, but I really enjoy it. Really creamy, really fine, creamy in the sense of like a creamy powder. It's very finely milled. It's really easy to, if you want to do it on your lids, you can apply it with your fingers. And it just really melts into the skin. And when I get close to like to a mirror, it's not looking powdery on my skin, and I really appreciate that. Sometimes powders can just look too powdery. This is one that doesn't do that, which is really, really nice. I enjoy this formula a lot. Okay, so the next we're moving on to blushes, and I got 2 shades. So I have the shade Hibiscus Haze, which is this one, and this is Pomelo Peach, which is this one. I love both of them. For me, Pomelo Peach is kind of more of an everyday grab just because I'm loving the peach cheek. But this one is gorgeous. And this was the first one I actually bought. And then it made me want to buy Pomelo Peach because the formula is so beautiful, melts into the skin, doesn't look powdery on the cheeks, which is just, I don't know, like, I just love this formula, and if you struggle with powders because you feel like they look too powdery, this might be one worth checking out because it's just great. And I love that the color is at the bottom because I hate when packaging is the same, but you can't tell without opening what it is. I like that the back at least has the color and the sticker. Great, both beautiful. I'm a really big fan of these, and I love that they are more of a matte blush, because when you're setting cream like blushes or like liquid blushes, sometimes grabbing something that is a little bit more matte to go on top is nice. Sometimes I'll do like a liquid or a cream. Then I'll do maybe a more luminous powder like the Bare Minerals, like powder blushes that have a little bit of luminosity to them. And then I like to go with a touch of this on top. The luminosity still comes out, but I just feel like it makes it last like so long. It's so good. Next we have the powder. So this is the, again, loose setting powder. I got the shade Translucent. I really like this formula. It doesn't make my under eyes feel tight, and it does make my makeup last really, really long, which I really appreciate. And it's not super white, which I know is a translucent color that scares a lot of people. This is one that is more of a creamy color. And ooh, I'm spilling it all over myself, but it's such a good shade. And again, just melts into the skin. And when I get up close to my under eyes, right, like I get close to it, I'm not seeing like a really intense dry area, which is, my under eyes are really dry, so I'm shy away from powder under my eyes just because I'm scared of, like, just some powders are just so intense. This one is really nice. It melts into the skin, and again, it has that nice finely milled quality that the blushes and the bronzers have. So I'm a really big fan of all of these. And yeah, that's it for this video. That is it for my Haus Labs makeup video. I would love to know your thoughts down below on the products. Do you have these? Should I get another one? Let me know down below. The other shades look a little bit scary to me, just for like how intense I get like applying blush, so I'm a little bit nervous. But do I need one of the other shades? Let me know down below. Also, what are your thoughts on the bronzer and the powder? Let me know how they compare to the other ones that you have in your collection. I would love to know. I really enjoy all of these. Like, I was very surprised that I enjoyed everything. And it's just another Haus Labs win, which is really, really awesome. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.